Okay, guys. I have bad news or good news. Derek is not here. Do with that information what you will. What do they say? Internet, do your thing.
Home is where I learn toughness,
Determination.
unity.
Patience.
In this house, how you do anything.
Is how you do everything.
Welcome home.
Guys, listen. I know this is a different camera angle than you're used to, but I woke up this morning. Now look, there's been some things happening in the last 24 hours that have concerned me as a brother and as a football fan. And they aren't concerning. They just raise the little antenna. You guys ever play Mario Kart and you have the little antenna on the back of your cart? And when you're going around with the antenna on, you don't fall off Rainbow Road. But as soon as you take that antenna off, you're into the depths, okay? I was playing against Piper the other day, my 7-year-old, and I took that antenna off because I was feeling good. I can beat a 7-year-old in Mario Kart. I don't need the antenna. Depths, okay? So that's where I've gone. My antenna was up. I was doing fine, and I let it down. And I woke up this morning, and I see John F. Gruden posted a tweet. The tweet was a Raider flag, and that just confirmed to me my suspicions because yesterday I didn't hear a lot from Derek. Derek was not really talkative on the airways. Like we text back and forth. We had group chats. We got, family text. Didn't really hear from him. Then I wake up to this. And I think to myself, okay, it could be a coincidence. There also could be something there. So I have to confirm my suspicions. And I show up today to do the Homegrown podcast with my brother. And he's not here. It's an empty chair. And so for me, again, no communication. I don't know what's happening. All right, I'm going to let you guys at home figure out what possibly could be happening here when I have John Gruden posting a Raider flag with 1.5 million views. I don't hear from my brother yesterday. And then alas, I show up to the Homegrown and he's not here. Do with that information what you will. Raise your antenna in Mario Kart when you play against 7-year-olds and pay attention to the signs because they're out there. Let's get to football.
Speaking of being absent, there's a team that's absent from the playoffs, but they're not absent from the first overall pick, and that is our beloved Las Vegas Raiders.
Yes.
Pete Carroll's out.
Okay, here's what I would do if I was Mark Davis. I'm not, but if I'm Mark Davis, I think you have a new stadium. You're making a little money. Here's the one thing that I'll say. There's no salary cap. We've had a little conversation about salary cap this morning here. There's no salary cap on coaches. You can bring in the absolute best. No one's going to tell you that you can't bring them in. So for me, look, I think I've heard people talk about this a little bit, but I would do this if I was Mark. I would just pick up the phone. Kurt Signetti, I know you're trying to win a national championship. What would you like to coach Mendoza in Las Vegas? Just think about it. You don't have to tell us yes or no, but just putting it out there as we go through this search, we won't even say anything. We won't even bring it up to anybody. But is it possible that you would consider this? That's my first call. My second call, actually, my first call is to Kevin Stefanski. My very first call is to Kevin.
Two-time Coach of the Year.
Two-time Coach of the Year. Did a fantastic job. I don't think that the situation that he found himself in Cleveland, look, you can go Google the backstory between Kevin Stefanski and Shedeur Sanders and Deion Sanders. You can go figure that out for yourself. I want you to take a deep dive into that, and I want you to figure out maybe what was happening there. Because I saw, and this is not a knock on Kevin, I just observe these things. When you watch coaches on the sideline and they're kind of checked out. When Shedeur was out there, it wasn't like he was really involved in every decision and every, I guess he wasn't really concerned with growing the Shedeur Sanders train. Okay. Like he wasn't invested. You could feel it, right? It wasn't a Coach of the Year moment. So Kevin Stefanski would be my first call because I just think he's a great coach. I think schematically, I know you can say whatever you want about, but they didn't have nobody in Cleveland. Like their team was bad. They have what? They got Fannin, the young tight end. Maybe you could say Njoku, Judkins until he got hurt, but now he needs a whole leg. So I think for me, Stefanski's my second call. Obviously, and this may be why my friend is not here today. Where's Clint Kubiak? He's in Seattle, coaching a great football team. And honestly, Clint, since he was in New Orleans, has put together great offenses. And so he goes to Seattle, same thing. You plug him in.
Minnesota in 21 with Kirk Cousins.
Great.
Record year.
Great. Clint's great. So those three, Cignetti, obviously, just because, and this is going to be the thing with me, and Derek talks about this all the time. There are guys that, like Kurt Cignetti, in front of a room, we're locked in. Clint, in front of a room, hey, he's just there, man. He just wants to make sure you do your job. There's different levels. Like people talk about, oh, he's not great in front of. There's just different ways to approach things. You can be Mike McDaniels. You can be in Miami, and you could be a guy that just kind of gets up there, and you're just, as long as you put guys in position to win and you bring in the right players, you don't have to be the guy that can lead. Like I had Tom Coughlin in New York, and he was dynamic. You get him up in front of a group of guys, you're going to want to run through a wall for that guy. There are other guys that I was with that would put me even in better positions, X's and O's wise, but they really didn't have that same feel in front of the room. So for me, you don't necessarily need that. I know there's going to be a lot of talk about it. You need the guy that could be a leader. You don't need that. You need a guy that's going to put me in position to make plays and give me the best possible shot, and then bring the right guys in. So Clint needs to be powered with a powerful GM that can bring in good guys, that knows what he's doing. So hopefully Tom Brady has time with his girlfriend and he can figure this out, because I want the Raiders to be good. I know my friend here wants the Raiders to be good. Maybe he's doing something about it right now. I don't know. We don't know where he is. Where's Derek? Anybody know? We don't know. So we're going to find out as we go along.
Does that make it easier with Cignetti to get our guy?
I think
quarterback.
I think I know that recently Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray in Arizona didn't work out. That was a perfect offense to quarterback transition right into the NFL. And I think the only reason it didn't work out was because of the style in which they play. It's very loose. And in the NFL, you got to be tight. You have to be on it from the jump. And what I see with Cignetti and Mendoza is they are on it. They run the ball. Number one, we got Ashton Genty. We got Brock Bowers. They're going to run the football. And then when they throw it, they're very detailed. They're very precise. They have answers for things. A lot of times you watch these college guys, they don't have answers. I see Mendoza. I see him picking up stuff. I see them not taking a lot of free runners at the quarterback. So for me, I think that's a natural first call. Who knows? Maybe Kurt doesn't want to go there. Maybe he doesn't want to leave Indiana. Maybe he's excited. Maybe he wants to win an NFL championship there. Maybe he just wants to go get paid and be an NFL head coach. We don't know. He was a wide receiver coach at Alabama. They weren't going to give him a shot. He said, I got to move on. I want to be the guy. So does he want to be the guy at the NFL, the highest level? Does he want to stay in college and deal with the NIL? I don't know. We have to ask him. I definitely would call him.
Do we for sure trade Mendoza at one? Or can we trade back?
Well, I think here, like if I'm actually going to do this, if you put me in charge of the Raiders, I am a firm believer in the trenches, boots on the ground. Okay. I'm offense and defensive line. I'm trading all those picks for an absolute unit.
Who's your quarterback?
I don't care. Does Aiden O'Connell not come off the bench and beat the Chiefs every year?
That is true. That's pretty.
So, like, I know that that's not the popular thing, and I understand how the NFL works now. It is fire coaches, draft quarterbacks high. I understand how that works. I was one of those guys, okay? But if we're really trying to do this thing, we get a guy that can come in and establish that offense and defense line is what we're going to do. Just look at Philly. That's all Philly has done in the last 5 years is they just said, we're going to be better than you in the trenches. And then we're going to, Philly's been booed all year in their home stadium.
Yeah.
And where do they find themselves? Right there, right in the dance.
They're not exciting.
They're not exciting, but why? Because they just beat you up inside.
Not exciting, but Lord, do they win football games?
Lord, do they win?
Man.
Right? Like, my goodness.
Can we go on that? You can't have the exciting whites and be non-exciting.
Did you see the other day? I can't remember which one it was, but one of the opponents said, "Hey, what's up, Coop?" or whatever he said, and he's like, "Oh, I'm the other one." Imagine there only being two. That's crazy. That's actually wild. It used to be when we would see an exciting white in the secondary, we were attacking.
Right.
I remember I got yelled at one time because we threw all go backed up, right? And there was a white corner and there was a non-white corner. And this one on the right was closer. the white guy knew he was off.
Back
Like,
up.
that's where I'll go. I'm not going to throw. He's 15 yards off.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw it to him. I came to the sideline. Kevin Gilbride said, "You throw it at him every time." I said, "Is that why you called that, Kevin?" That's crazy.
The evolution of the white corner.
The evolution has been crazy. Look, we got a long way to go, right? But we're working our way into the secondary.
That's right.
We've come a long way from Jason Sehorn.
I remember Jason Sehorn, his pants fell down mid play. I'm like, Jason, that's a bad look for us, bro.
Did you play Jason Sehorn?
Yeah.
No way.
Come on, bro.
Play him
I'm
or play with him.
Both.
You played with him?
I didn't
too?
play with him at New York. I did not play with him.
Okay.
I definitely played against him. I don't even know where we were going there, but we went exciting whites and I got excited. But
Raiders, first overall pick. We know what we're doing.
look, they're going to take Mendoza probably.
But go trenches.
But can we just build a trench?
But do you think out of every team that now needs a coach, they are probably the most exciting? And if I was a coach, the most
Bro,
like, the
sign
biggest
me
job.
up, man. Maybe that's where he is.
Like over
Is
I'd
Derek
go-
Carr the head coach of the Raiders?
Would you like you'd go there over Cleveland and over like
Oh my goodness, yes.
Atlanta, right?
It's beautiful. Look, I know. Here's the only thing about it, and everyone knows this. Raider fans know this. It's not necessarily home field advantage like it was in Oakland, but it can be. I think that's the other thing too. Is like people kind of give them a lot of heat for not having this home field advantage in Vegas, but it's been a little bit since they've been competitive and in that. Like I've been in that stadium when they were playing against the Chargers, and the little halftime out with the little smirk. Like I was there. That thing was going right. That was Raiders. That wasn't. There were Charger fans there. There were some, but they weren't.
Well, there's not many in general.
That's true. There's not a lot of Charger fans anyway. But the point is, it can be home field advantageous, okay, and still allow visitors to come in and see the place. But you're making a lot of money if you're Mark Davis. You got a ton of money, so get the coaching staff right. Do whatever you got to do there. And I think you're not that far, bro. Like, if you hear what I'm doing is I'm thinking if I don't take Mendoza, what happens? That's I understand.
And close with this. There's got to be something for an organization that sticks with their quarterback and sticks with their head coach.
You know what?
Continuity is so lost.
I'm with you there, and I would only say that it's our fault. That's our fault in the world out here because we allow these guys to be run out. We allow the talk of Mike Tomlin and Stefanski to be fired, and for all these guys we're like next. You know, and it's not a grace period. You don't want that, right? You want to be good. You want to show improvement, but that we don't have that anymore. We go to the next guy, you know, and it's because we're scrolling, bro. That's all. We're just looking for this one's not fun enough. So we're going to go on. So, but I think what you can do is you can give those guys a chance if you are better on the interior, because like the worst thing that would happen in this scenario is you bring Mendoza in and he gets beat up. Been there. I've been in that situation. It's not fun. And you can't improve and you start getting bad habits and then you find yourself on another team. And so that's not what we want for him. He's not going to be able to do much. I mean, I saw Gino this year, and Derek will appreciate me saying this because I felt for him, man. Like, it's hard. That guy got beat up. I know he had double bird 360. Like, he was on the precipice of that. I know that happened, right? But I still, I'm like, dude, he's getting rocked. And some of it was on his own. Some of it was Chip's offense kind of trying to blend and be this offensive. They just didn't have the answers, okay? They had free hitters everywhere. The offensive line had some issues. So did we not see offensive line issues in Las Vegas? Let's fix that, you know? Let's run the ball a little bit. Like, what did Indiana do so well? They ran the ball. They run the ball on everybody. They run the ball on Ohio State. They don't care. They run it. So I think it starts there. I think it starts with the trenches. That's where you fix the Raiders, okay? Maybe, you know what? If you don't get Mendoza, it's not the end of the world. Okay, if they decide a crazy idea to trade back and grab a couple just hog mollies, that's fine. Let's do that. We've already felt what it's like to do the other thing. Let's deal with the trenches for a little bit. That's all I'm going to say about the Raiders. All right, we're doing it. The guy said there's a little break. We need a break in the action. Okay.
I need you to name the 3 quarterbacks in this year's playoff who have a Super Bowl ring.
Who have a Super Bowl ring in the playoffs?
3 of them, yeah.
Stafford.
Yep.
Jalen.
He's quick.
One more.
My goodness. Aaron Rodgers.
There you
Wow.
go. Wow. That was so much faster than I thought you were going to have that.
I honestly thought I was going to brick that.
You could.
I didn't think I was going to get any of those guys.
Out of those 3 quarterbacks, Who has the best chance to win another one this year?
Okay, out of Stafford. Okay.
Stafford
okay.
hurts Rodgers.
Oh,
I'm gonna say, like, they're playing in Carolina, right? I'm gonna say the Rams.
oh,
I think the Rams, because the last time we saw him, like, it wasn't great this last week, but there's Tay on the sideline. I saw a lot of guys on the sideline.
Yeah.
So they get healthy, man. You gonna tell Puka Nacua that he can't do what he wants to do? Huh, Austin? That man will start a live video right now. He doesn't care. It's not care. Puka. That catch on the sideline that didn't count, that one-handed one on the sideline,
ridiculous.
I've never seen a catch
That was
like
a catch.
It was a catch.
They said he bobbled it.
I don't care.
It was a catch, man.
I was a catch.
He had full force of that.
Full force possession.
Yes.
I agree with that. So I'm going to say the Rams. I think Matt Stafford can win another one.
Is there a world we see Steelers Panthers Super Bowl this year?
I mean, do you want that?
No,
Does
the
anybody
world
on
does not
earth
want that.
Would you even watch that game? I don't know if I don't know if I can watch that game. Okay, we're talking playoffs. Who's the best quarterback in the playoffs right now? My personal opinion. Two names pop in my brain. Okay. You would think number one would be Josh Allen, and you're correct, because he is the best quarterback in the playoffs. You can look at Aaron, and I'll even throw this one in there, Matt Stafford. Two different quarterbacks, play completely different. Josh there's going to be a lot asked of him. You know, their defense, I think there's moments where their defense can give up some yards. And then in those moments, I get nervous for Josh because it's the superhero conundrum. I used to tell Derek all the time, throw the cape on when you need to. Bruce Wayne makes a lot of money. Okay? Do that, Josh. But I say that, and then I watch them put offensive systems together, and you can tell, like, right off the jump with Buffalo, it's like Josh Allen run, Josh Allen holding the ball too long, Josh Allen trying to make all the plays. And while I'm fine with that, it's not consistent. And so let's just think of the best dynasties in the last 20 years. It's been the Patriots. And what did they do at the quarterback position? They played super efficient. He knew where the ball was going before it left his hand. The only two quarterbacks that I see in the playoffs that do that, this is going to be a little controversial, but it's Aaron Rodgers and Matt Stafford. So I trust those guys. Why have the Pittsburgh Steelers at this point gotten so much better as the season's gone on? Because of all the time these receivers are spending with their quarterback. They have taken ownership of that offense. You see Aaron, like, he's fiery. He's in Arthur Smith. So I've watched Arthur Smith call plays for a lot of people. I've never seen him take the abuse that he takes from the quarterback in a good way. Aaron owns that offense, and he's physically pretty healthy. He's got life on the ball. He looks like the guy from a couple years ago, which is terrifying. I know their defense is a little sus, but I trust him in moments to win games. Clearly, we saw this last week. I trust Matt Stafford to do the same thing. Josh Allen, I trust, but it's a little bit like I'm kind of on the edge of my seat watching the Bills. The good thing about Josh Allen is there's no Lamar Jackson. There's no Pat Mahomes. There's no Joe Burrow that you got to deal with in the AFC. There are other quarterbacks. There's some good. Drake May, obviously. You guys have had some nail biters this year. But there's those monsters are not lurking, right? Like Odysseus when he was trying to get home. And you got the Cyclops, and you got all these different, you got the things coming out. You don't have to worry about that, okay? You just got to go play sound football. But those are my three. Now, other guys could surprise me. I'm sure you're going to, Jalen Hurts, yeah, great. You know, but like, they've been up and down. I trust those three guys. Most importantly, I trust the two older guys, Aaron Rodgers and Matt Stafford. So we'll see what happens, but that's my thoughts on the quarterback situation. Something could surprise me. Could Bo Nix be a Super Bowl champion this year? Absolutely. Would it shock some people in this room? Maybe some people that aren't in this room? Maybe, right? But it's a different world. The world that I live in, those three quarterbacks that I mentioned, especially those two older guys, they play it the right way. They see it. They know what they're looking at. In the playoffs, you're going to get a menagerie of defensive structures. They're going to see all your stuff. They know they know everything about your offense, okay? So you got to have answers at the line of scrimmage. Those two guys do. We'll see what happens.
Peyton, can we look up menagerie? I don't think that's a real
It's
word.
haberdashery and hemoglobin. It's in that vein. Menagerie is also a word that I'll throw out there time to time. I'm not allowed to use menagerie. The dictionary for menagerie, it's a collection of wild animals kept in captivity for exhibition. What? Oh, No, yeah, strange or diverse collection of people or things. That's
Okay.
what I'm looking for.
A menagerie.
It's a menagerie.
You also said Aaron has life on the ball. Can you explain what that means?
It jumps. It's jumping. You saw Phillip Rivers come in the other day?
No life.
Any life on that ball?
0 life.
0. I love Phillip, all right? But Aaron still has a little pop. You know, I was playing against Aaron in Green Bay. He was on the right hash. He's throwing to Omaha. You guys know what Omaha is. 7-yard out, bender. Jumps back there. Little guy. Aaron's not that big. And he just kind of does this little hop, flips the ball out there. It's 12 degrees outside. The ball is whistling through the air, whistling through Lambeau. Hits his receiver dead in the chest on our sideline. I said, well, that's different. He still has that. Like, that hasn't left. I saw Jeff George the other day. Jeff George. You know Jeff George? These guys don't know who Jeff George is.
Jeff George sounds
Rocket ball quarterback. Jeff George at one point, I just told this story by his offensive coordinator, in 7-on-7, takes the snap. No one's open in 7-on-7. Pats the ball. No one's there. Drops it on the ground. Walks back to the huddle.
good.
Jeff George had a rocket, and he's like 60-something years old. He could still sling it. That doesn't go away unless you're Phillip Rivers. But Aaron Rodgers has great mechanics, and he's got his legs under him, and he looks good. So I don't even know where I was going with that story, but we went on off on a tangent with Menagerie, which you're welcome. Maybe I'll drop some more nuggets so we can learn words today, okay, as my daughter tries to read at home. Piper.
Did you see Aaron do his old school celebration, his little jump skip in
Yes,
the
but
air?
then they missed it. The
they didn't show it on the
broadcast didn't
broadcast.
show it. I had to
Yeah.
rely on the fans from the.
Yeah.
What is that celebration?
It's like
The Mario.
It's a little Mario. He's going like that.
Fantastic celebration. It's great. If you haven't seen it, go Google that. Maybe we'll put it in the show. We might get in
Have
trouble.
you
for
seen
that.
the guy who imitates?
Yeah, this one right here. This is actually the. Is this the guy that imitates him?
Have you seen the Aaron Rodgers imitation
He's
guy?
hilarious.
He's so good.
That's so good. Yes, I love that he's healthy and playing good. That's what I love about Aaron Rodgers. He's feeling good, and he has ownership of that group, man, of that offense. And DK's back. DK's back. DK. Donkey Kong. Have you ever played Mario Kart? Mario Kart 8 or Mario Kart World? Now we have at the house Nintendo Switch 2. Maybe we should be a promo for Nintendo Switch. No,
We'll talk to
they're
him.
not good.
Now walk me through being AP Offensive Player of the or Rookie of the Year between Clinton Portis and Jeremy Shockey.
Clinton Portis. I thought you had a stroke, and you mentioned Clinton Portis and Jeremy Shockey. Let me tell you, Jeremy
Oh,
Shockey.
that's crazy that you were rookie with Clinton Portis.
Yes, and
That's
Jeremy
crazy.
Shockey. Jeremy Shockey was in my first game, Hall of Fame game. Right, we played against the Giants. He catches a ball on the sideline, trucks like 14 of our players. At that moment, I thought we might not win 5 games. Ran over everybody. Then I fast forward. I go to New York, and Jeremy Shockey's going through it with the New York Giants. You saw him like at the Super Bowl. He was up in the booth. He didn't want anything. Eventually, he gets traded to the Saints. Well, how did he get traded to the Saints, Dave? Let me tell you. We're in OTAs. We're at a table much like this. Okay, lower sitting. Kevin Gilbride's running the offensive film. Jeremy Shockey won't shut up. He won't stop talking. He's coaching up the other tight ends, and I loved it. Jeremy Shockey's a fantastic teammate. I was with him one day. This was the day. Jeremy Shockey's communicating with the tight ends. Gilbride says, "Hey, Jeremy, are you done? I'm coaching here." He's like, "Oh, I'm just trying to make sure that they're doing everything correctly." A little shot at Kevin Gilbride, okay? So we go on with the meeting. 2 minutes pass. Shockey's talking again. Gilbride kind of stands up. "Jeremy, can you just let me run the meeting?" He's like, "Actually, no. I'm going to continue to coach my players that I'm on the field with every day." And I said, "Well, there's some beef here. There's a little bit of a history I didn't know, okay?" And so Gilbride stands up and says something else. And then Shockey stands up and says something else. Eventually, Shockey's asked to leave. Shockey does leave. The crazy part about this story is I see Shockey later after practice. We go to practice. Shockey doesn't come to practice. We go after practice. I'm taking a shower. Shockey's in there. He just talks to me like nothing happened. Like nothing happened. We're totally fine. He's talking about the Hall of Fame game where he ran over 14 guys on my sideline. He remembers playing against me. Then he gets traded to the Saints. That's it. I was teammates with Jeremy Shockey one day, and that was what happened in that moment. I'm not saying he's crazy. I love Jeremy. I thought he was a fantastic teammate for the one day. But man, like to not even acknowledge what happened in the room with Kevin Gilbride before that was wild. So
And bring it up in the shower.
and bring him to the shower. We're just 2 guys in the shower just hanging out. You don't talk about that crazy stuff. No, we're just talking about normal stuff. Anyway, that's my Jeremy Shockey story. Sorry, where were we at?
So yeah, you were on the Giants in 2008.
Yes,
You
Giants
had a
2008.
first round bye. Let's
Yes.
kind of wrap up the playoff segment with that. How is it with the team that gets a bye? We saw in the college football playoffs, you don't want to bye. Teams have lost when they have a bye.
Hey, bro.
How does it work in the NFL?
There's something to that. Like teams, you're talking about the bye week before the playoff game. I will say that in my experience with the Giants, when we had the bye, we got our tail kicked the next week by Philly. Like Michael Vick came in there and said, "Guess what, bro? You're not winning this game." Andy Reid. It's tough because you have all this momentum. Uncle Mo is with you, right? You're trending in the right direction. You want to be peaking at the playoffs. And I guess in some ways, if you're in a situation where you have a bye, you are peaking. But then you hit this lull and you get on a boat. We didn't get on a boat.
You were on the boat.
Wasn't on the boat, technically. I wasn't invited. That was later. But if you get on the boat, there's a relaxation that happens. You guys have been on boats. Everyone relaxes. You go on a vacation. A bye week is like, it's hard to lock in mentally. So here's the difference. Super Bowl, as we go through as a wild card team, we had to battle every week. Jets, Cowboys. We get in. Now we got to play Atlanta, Green Bay. I don't even remember who else we played. San Francisco on the road. All on the road. Tough. We had to battle the whole time. We'd stick together. That bye week year that you referenced, Brandon, we just kind of like, okay, I guess we just hang out. Watch the games, see what happens. We're just kind of, you're in like lollipop mode. You're like at Disneyland getting a corn dog at the Red Barn. It's like no one cares what's happening. So it's tough. I think football is hard because I don't think the bye weeks are great unless you're just really banged up. Like that's the only time I can see a bye week being beneficial is if you're injured and you got to get guys healthy. Then I think that you can almost see it as, okay, this is a great blessing that we're healthy. But other than that, I would be interested in the numbers because it doesn't seem like obviously, you play a game, you could get beat, sure, in that first week. Obviously, anyone can. But when I tell you Philadelphia, Austin was there, they beat the brakes off of us.
Was that the punt return?
No, it wasn't.
Different game.
It was a different game, but it was worse because we weren't even competitive, and it was 10 degrees. It was cold.
What'd Coughlin say?
Yeah, Coughlin was not happy. He was...
Menagerie of words.
Oh, bro. A menagerie of words came out of a cornucopia of information that I was not ready for came from Tom Coughlin. So I don't think you need a bye. I'm glad only one team, right? One team has a bye now, right? So
one in each conference.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. You guys keep that. We'll play a game. Look, I'm going to tell you from experience, you can't sit on a beach and be on vacation your whole life. You're going to go crazy. You think you can, but you can't do it. Like you're going to say, oh, because you sat on a beach for, yes, I have. And it's at day 4 or 5, it's miserable, man. You need something to do. We were intended to work. All right. I'm just telling you right now. You can Google this. Okay. You could probably open your biblical text and find out that you were meant to work. And you know this, right? When you have your most joy in life is when you're working at something with a collective group. That's what this is Tom Coughlin coming out right now, right? The most joy you can have in life, right? With a group of guys is working towards a common goal. This goes back to war. This goes back to the birth of civilization. You got to work for it. So a bye, I don't want it. I don't want it unless I'm hurt. Let's move on. This is the playoff bracket. This is official. First of all, can we talk about the colors in the Super Bowl and the conspiracy theory behind that? And is anyone in pink or yellow going to be Rams?
Rams, Patriots are red?
Okay, but there's no pink. You think the NFL did that on purpose? The Super Bowl's in San Francisco. Those are not 49er colors. We're going to build a playoff bracket. We'll figure out the conspiracy theory later on the colors of the Super Bowl. I think that kind of theory has gone away with the Sports Illustrated jinx and the Madden cover jinx. Although Peyton Hillis, we still haven't seen him for a while.
Rest in peace.
I did also buy Madden 2012. Peyton Hillis is alive, yes.
Yes.
He barely.
Did save somebody.
Barely.
Right? Yeah.
American Patriot.
Just shout out Peyton Hillis.
Shout out Peyton Hillis. First of all, I just bought Madden 2012. It was $75. Do you know why?
Why?
Well, first of all, it's still in the package from 2012.
Whoa. Unopened.
Unopened. And
unsheathed.
2012 is the last year that Madden gave you create a play where you could build your own playbook and then draw the routes.
No way.
Last year. So I got it. I'm going to put a little offense together. And what I'm going to do for the people is I'm going to divulge it to you. You can use it. That's for a later show. Right now, we're going to do playoff bracket. We're going to go Steelers-Texans. Steelers, so I would imagine it's it's at Steelers because obviously they're 4 seed. Texans defensively, let me think about this. Will the Steelers be able to do what we've seen them do and throw it? No. Just I'm going to say no. Because the Texans front is going to get there. And the back end, they're great. I know DK is coming back, right? He's going to be in this game. I'm imagining DK is going to be in this game.
DK will be back.
I know that they've made some plays, but for me, that was great watching them the other day. It was not great watching the Ravens kicker miss. That's sad. I hate that. But the fact that they're in, I'm happy for them, happy for Aaron. I think Aaron's going to give them all the opportunity to win this game. The issue is for me with Houston, it's all on CJ Stroud. They haven't really shown that they're going to run the ball consistently this year. So that is the one thing that if you go into the playoffs as a team that is one-dimensional, that has not historically been the way. So this is tough for me. I'm going to say that Houston wins this game, but CJ's going to have to play great. He's going to have to play fantastic football. That's going to be a good game. That's going to be a great game. Aaron Rodgers is not going to go quietly into the night now. He's going to throw some in there. And there's going to be contested throws that these guys are going to have to make plays. That's the one thing with Aaron. He doesn't turn the ball over a lot, but he will throw it in there. Right? It'll be a safe throw it in there, but it's going to be contested. So you got to make a play on it. You guys got to make a play. I'm going to still say the Texans win that game. All right? Jags, Bills. This is interesting. The Jags aren't getting the respect that they deserve. It's because they're the Jaguars. The Bills are sitting at the 6th seed. It's in Jacksonville. I like Buffalo in this game, but I think the Jags are a better team. And I'm going to take the Jags.
Yeah.
I'm Duval. All right. I'm going to take the Jags. And that's crazy, I know. But look, show me a team that has guys. I mean, Liam Cohen. I mean, guys are running wide open. I love what they do with we were talking about Puka and how they kind of release him through the B gap sometimes. They do all that stuff in Jacksonville. Where'd Liam Cohen come from? He was with the Sean McVay. So he knows, right? So that's going to be fun. I think the Jaguars are a better team. All right, Patriots, Chargers in the playoffs, Austin Duke. We've talked about their issues against the Texans, 4 picks a couple years ago, against the Jags, blowing the lead. It hasn't been great. The Chargers' issue for me, okay, is their offensive line has been leaky this year. And the defense, while I think that they're good if you play against a team that they'll just kind of come out and play right at you, New England plays big. And not that the Chargers can't play big. I just think New England has a lot more answers on offense. And then defensively, I think that they're going to give the Chargers some issues because he's going to have to hold the ball, Justin Herbert. And this is not a defense that you want to hold the ball against with the Patriots. I'm going to take the Patriots in this game. Okay? So Patriots will be facing the Jags. Broncos will play the Texans. Great. Love it. Okay? Let's do this. Let's go to the NFC. Panthers, Rams. That's it. It's just
no Bryce Young love.
I love Bryce, but it's Rams because you know why? Healthy scratch Hunter Renfrow 4 weeks in a row. I can't. Okay? I like the Panthers. I like the fact that they will. You're going to say, oh, they beat them. Yeah, okay, I know. All right, but Sean McVay had a game plan for that game, and Sean McVay has a game plan for the playoffs, okay? So you're not going to see what you saw the other day, Carolina. I'm sorry. They understand, right? Carolina is a team that you don't want to take the big shot. You don't want to try and hold the ball and push it down the field because they're playing the shell coverage. They're going to try and keep everything in front of them. But the Rams will dice you up, and I think what happened the other day was it won't happen again, and the Rams are going to win this game. So Eagles, Niners. What a great game in the first round we have. With the Titans of the playoffs, some guys that have been around. I'm also upset that I didn't mention that I trust Brock Purdy in the playoffs. I don't know if this segment's going to be after the one that I mentioned about the playoff guys that I trust. I trust Brock Purdy in the playoffs. I'm terrified of him against Philly. If Trent is still out, do we know? We don't know yet.
Trent will play.
Trent will play because he has to. It's the playoffs. They got to get their guys back. They had a chance, man, to go and not have to get on a plane and play the Super Bowl in their home stadium. But guess what? All that's gone now. They have to play on the road against Philly, who's got a formidable front. But I'm going to say that the San Francisco 49ers get it done because I trust Kyle Shanahan. And that's along with Brock Purdy and George Kittle. my hope for this team. Not that I don't like Philly, but Philly, they're gonna get the Boo Birds. Almost, I feel like Philly would be better playing on the road because, like, if they have any struggles on offense, the Philly fans know how good of a team they have. They're gonna want it to happen right now. But San Francisco can put it on you. They can mix and match. That's gonna be fun. Vic Fangio versus Kyle Shanahan, and that chess match is gonna be awesome to watch. Bears Packers. This pains my heart because Jordan used to work out in my backyard, but I'm going Bears. I'm a Ben Johnson fan. In Ben Johnson, I trust. And you better give him a lifetime contract. Don't ever screw that up. Caleb loves me. Wore his high school jersey to the game the other day. Give me the Bears. Okay, so we got it set up. We got the games ready to go to the championship. Let's see. Broncos, Texans. Give me the Broncos because I think that overall they're a better team. I think that they're more consistently running the football when they want to. I think Texans' lack of running the football and being effective at it is going to be an issue. Give me the Broncos. Got to play one game to get to the AFC Championship. Patriots, Jags, another great football game. This is going to be a slobber knocker, as they say. This is tough. It's going to be in New England. I'm saying in January 17th, 18th, when this game happens, it's going to be a little cold. Duval is not cold. Okay? Give me the Patriots.
Did we not see Blake Bortles beat the Patriots?
We did. That was crazy.
In the playoffs?
That was wild. That shouldn't happen.
Not this year.
That shouldn't happen. The Patriots are going to win this. And then you got Broncos, Patriots. What a matchup. That's crazy. I mean, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning again. Are you excited for that? Yeah, well, they're not going to be there. All right. Tom's fixing the Raiders, and Peyton's probably going to be doing the broadcast. So I'm going to say, my goodness, I just can't see the Broncos going to this. Can I? Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Oh, man, I disagree wholeheartedly.
I love that you disagree, and you should because they're the number one seed, and they shouldn't lose to the Patriots. And it's in Denver.
It's in Mile High.
They will.
But they will because Drake May – is Drake May going to win MVP, or is it going to be Matt Stafford?
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
Actually, we have already talked about that.
Oh, so, yeah, don't worry about that. All right, NFC side. Who's going to play the Patriots in the Super Bowl? I mean, how mad are people that the Patriots are back in the Super Bowl? Are they mad, though, or do they like Drake May and his wife with the cookies?
Her Christmas sweets or whatever.
They're fantastic. I don't really eat sweets like that, but I kind of want some.
Yeah.
Does she offer them online? Can you?
She does not.
You can't get them with the dry ice?
Just recipes.
Dry ice and send them?
Recipes.
Austin, I'm going to need you to figure out how to get the recipe too.
Dry ice and send them?
You know how you get stuff? I got a cheesecake from New York the other day from a friend. And it was in dry ice.
You had a fully fledged cheesecake at your house.
Showed up at my house. Merry Christmas from Brooklyn. Not my niece, but a friend.
The city.
In Brooklyn. Open it up. Wonderful. I took one bite. Okay. All right. We're on to the NFC. Seahawks, 49ers. This hurts my heart because I can't pick against Kyle Shanahan, but I'm going to do it. I think Seattle wins the game. I think Seattle's even better than one seed.
Shout out Seattle.
They are
incredible.
Seattle.
They are great. They are great. Here's what's crazy about Seattle. They went and grabbed Clint, obviously, and Sam. And Sam, for all his flaws, he still has some. He missed Charbonnet in the flat, wide open in the end zone. There's moments there, but they cover it up so well because everything else about them is great. Love Seattle. So they're going to beat San Francisco. San Francisco's just too injured. If you had Fred, you had a healthy Trent, and maybe Christian was a year or two younger. I love Christian, but it's looking a little bit more difficult.
Sam Darnold, the only quarterback besides Tom Brady to have two 14-win seasons back-to-back. Did it last year if the Vikings did this year for the Seahawks.
That's an awesome stat.
2 number 1 seeds.
You got to make a plaque and put that in your house
Vikings
somewhere.
had Sam Darnold and Danny Dimes on the roster. Let them both go.
For JJ. It's tough, man. It's hard being a young quarterback. Especially when, for JJ, the weight of the entire organization is on his shoulders. Yeah, Harrison Smith's retiring. Everybody's ready to win. And it's they want you to step on the gas. That's a difficult situation. Bears, Rams. Man, this is great. Did they play this year?
This is a great playoff.
Great.
Yeah.
These are great
Did the
games.
Bears and the Rams play this year? I don't know.
That's a good question.
Just look it up real quick.
I don't think so. Not that I recall.
I don't think that they did. Okay. Bears, Rams. How does this thing match up? Well, up front, Ben Johnson's brilliance really is what he's done in the run game. You see some of these inserts by some of these fullbacks and F guys will use the term, receivers. They're hitting 3 techniques on outside zone. They do some incredible stuff. They did it to Philly.
Yeah.
And that's where it kind of started, and people started copying it. But Ben Johnson's great. So is Sean. That game will be in Chicago. It's going to be cold. It is cold.
This is a battle.
Caleb throws the ball really well in the weather, bro.
Really?
He does. Like,
Is that a skill?
I think that it's just, some guys just naturally throw the ball. Like Russ he always threw it well in the weather. Caleb does. I just don't know what it is, but he rips it. Like Aaron Rodgers rips it. Matt does too. So this is a great game, but I think Chicago in that scenario, I'm taking the Bears. Bears Seahawks.
Wow.
I want the Rams to win that game, but man, it's going to be different than SoFi. It's not, it's not that. It's going to be a different level. They're crazy in Chicago.
January in Chicago.
I've seen the videos. I've been to Chicago in early December, -8 degrees.
Miserable.
You think the Rams want some of that? They're in LA. They're in Manhattan Beach right now.
Right.
Matt Stafford's in 72-degree weather. You think he wants to go to 2-degree weather and play a football game against Chicago? I don't.
No.
I don't think so. All right. Seahawks Bears in the NFC Championship game could break the internet. That's a great game. If you're a football fan, I don't care what your team is, maybe you're going to have some negative feelings about it. You want that game to happen. That would be great. In Seattle, that's going to be rocking. Caleb, can he handle the noise? Here's the thing I'll say about the Bears. This is interesting because you have Sam Darnold, are we going to see any of the issues that we saw last year in the playoffs with Sam? They've been covered up so far, right? But they're still there, right? But their team has been so good that they've kind of covered up for that. Chicago, they're almost a year ahead of where they should be. They're a 2 seed right now. You could say, all right, not so fast, Lee Corso would say. Not so fast. I think that those two, the experience of Sam and kind of the stuff he's already shown for several years, that he has some limitations, but he is great. And then Chicago's just lack of being there and doing this. I think that's the biggest thing. I think I'm going to lean towards Seattle just because it's in Seattle, which is an insane place to play football. If you haven't been there, you need to go. Might need to go to that game. If you can get a ticket, it's probably going to be $10 million to get to that game. But Seattle, I'm taking Seattle. So I got Seattle and New England playing in the Super Bowl.
What a crazy Super Bowl.
Game.
That'd be a fantastic game. I'm excited about that.
What happened last time Patriots played the Seahawks in the Super Bowl?
Yes. Right? Oh my gosh. Was that the birth of the Legion of Boom? It might have been. It wasn't the birth.
That was the Malcolm Butler interception, right?
It's a crazy game. Now, if you have Marshawn Lynch.
That was the end of the Legion of Boom.
That was the end of it.
That was the end of him.
That's right. It was the end because then that's all the thing about we should have handed it to Marshawn.
Yep.
We didn't, and all the beef started happening. That's crazy. So this is a Seattle comeback to this moment, and they're going to get to face the Patriots again. Well, if I'm a football fan, I'm excited for that. I mean, you could have got Jags Seahawks. You could have got it was something random, but you didn't.
Bad.
You got Patriots Seahawks. You got the coasts battling each other.
Wow.
Who are you going to pick in the middle? Everybody in the middle, who are you going to pick? If you're a Kansas City fan, who are you pulling for? Right? That'll be fun.
Who are the Omaha, Nebraska people?
Omaha, Nebraska, do they care? No. They're watching it though, because they'll have a beer commercial or something in there. So I love it. Patriots Seahawks. Let's see what happens. Let's just fast forward to that. No, we can't fast forward because then we'll miss Bears Seahawks in the NFC Championship game. I got to see that game. The winner of the Super Bowl this year, Seattle Seahawks.
Hey,
have the Seattle Seahawks ever won the Super Bowl? Yes,
they had to.
Yeah,
Russ won
year?
one. Russ, his rookie.
You know what I did in my brain? I went way back to Steve Argent.
Oh, you were
those
deep.
teams never won. Okay, so Russ won a Super Bowl. Congratulations, they're back.
Their only Super Bowl was Russ.
Okay, so Sam Darnold, is he going to be a Super Bowl champion?
Sam Darnold is going to be a Super Bowl.
If he's Super Bowl champion, does Clinton stay, and is Sam locked in?
That's a great question. If I personally, like we talked about, there's no salary cap for coaches. What would keep Seattle from saying, "Hey, Clint, here's $10 million to be our offensive coordinator"?
Have a ball, brother.
Hey, just be an offensive coordinator. Now you got to ask yourself, does pride kick in? And I'm not saying Clint's a prideful man. I'm saying, does he want to be a head coach?
Right.
Do you want to run the show yourself? That's the only thing you have to ask. Because if I'm an owner and if I have a guy like that's fantastic. If I have a guy like that, he's not leaving. Like if I'm the Detroit Lions, Ben Johnson's never leaving the building.
Can't.
He's not leaving.
He cannot.
Hey, guess what, bro? Eventually you're going to be the head coach.
Yeah.
At some point. If it ever gets weird with Dan Campbell, he's out. You're in, right? Clint Kubiak, and I know it won't be like that because McDonald's a great coach. on defense. They have two of the best coordinators in the game, in my personal opinion. I know McDonald is technically the head coach, but he runs the defense. Man, I'd have a hard time letting those guys. And they got money in Seattle. Isn't that Bill Gates up there?
Is Bill Gates not in Seattle?
Who is the other guy?
Jeff Bezos not in Seattle.
Exactly. We can't get some Amazon bucks together. If you gave Clint Kubiak a $5 million Amazon card, would he stay? That's my question.
You would not stay.
You wouldn't stay for $5 million Amazon card.
No.
$5 million.
10 million maybe.
Unlimited Amazon.
I'm there.
You staying there. Stay in Seattle, get a boat. It's beautiful up there, by the way.
Very dark, cold.
Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl champions. Enjoy that. Okay, I know we just talked about the playoff bracket, and that was fun for all the teams involved. But if your team is not in the playoffs, which we've been there, we've all been there, okay? Your team's not there. Who do you want to draft in April? What I want you to do is tell us some prospects. We'll tell you what we think of them, right? We haven't watched a ton of college football lately in depth. We watch it kind of just as we pass, and we see the names. We see Mendoza. We see all these guys, right? We see Jeremiah Smith, who's not coming out. Sorry, Ohio State is going to stay there 1 more year. But if you have a guy that you think, hey, this would be a good fit, pop it in the comments. We'll talk about it. We'll see if he fits in your squad. You know, sometimes you got to have a... Honestly, fans, you guys are pretty sharp because a lot of times you guys know, especially if all the structure stays in place schematically, you know, what you guys need, what role could be filled. And so pop those names in there. We'll see what we can do. We'll plug them into teams, see if we can help you. Guys, we talk about professional football here a lot. It's the National Football League. It's what pays the bills, turns the lights on. Okay? But there exists a world where these youngsters are out there playing college football. We got a college football playoff bracket popped up right here. And you know what I noticed? Brandon, you brought this up.
Yep.
The 4 teams left, all their coaches are what?
Nick Saban disciples.
So you're telling me that toughness, discipline, hard work, team, doing things the right way, situational football, all those things matter at the end of the day? Probably a little NIL money. You get $20, $30 million. That probably helps.
That helps a ton.
All these teams do have that. Although, Lane, I don't know if he thought Ole Miss had it. Did he think Ole Miss had it in him to go to where they are right now?
He did not, or else he wouldn't have left.
He would have stayed, you think. So he goes to LSU, and Ole Miss is still playing. And I was cheering for him. How do you not cheer for Ole Miss at this point?
Right.
Like, I mean, maybe if you're a Miami or an Indiana or Oregon fan, you could cheer for those teams. But for me personally, I'm Ole Miss all the way. We got Oregon and Indiana. That's going to be a great game.
Go into that Dan Lanning story you were saying.
So Dan Lanning, he wants to just be around Nick Saban. He goes to Nick Saban and says, I'll come here for free and I'll be a graduate assistant. And you just let me sit there. And he said, I learned more. Dan Lanning said this the other day. I watched, he was doing a co-interview with Kurt Signetti. I learned more in the first week that I didn't even know existed in the world of football. Think about that as a football coach. And that's why I love football. That's why I think that, you know, people love it so much is because there's so many different levels. And I also think that football could save America. First of all, Christ is king, number one. Number two.
No politics, no religion.
No politics, no religion. Christ is king. Number two, the number 2 thing that's going to save America is football. Because you have to do things the right way. You have to have discipline. You have to have all the things that suck. It's hard. Football is very difficult. And only teams that are willing to sacrifice and do things for others are going to be successful. Inside my Super Bowl ring, it says team. Okay? That's what it says. And that's how you win this thing. And these coaches understand that because they were sitting under Nick Saban. They get it. And that's what's fun about Indiana, Ole Miss, Miami, Oregon. They aren't Ohio State. They aren't all these teams that, you know, they're, I mean, let's look at it. It's Alabama, Texas. Where's Texas? Right? I'm not saying that there's probably some issues that they got to clean up at all those other schools, but what these Final Four have is they have collective group of men working together, and probably women on different levels. And their staffs are literally hundreds deep now. They're collectively moving towards a goal. They believe. You tell me Miami doesn't believe? You tell me Ole Miss has not rallied together behind the Lane Kiffin thing and said, we're going to do this? Indiana, they're the most locked in football team I've ever seen.
Ever. Like Kurt Signetti, when I listen, if you want to have a little joy this holiday season that you didn't maybe experience around Christmas or New Year's,
Pop on any Curt Cignetti interview and listen to the man talk about what matters, because it transcends sports. He talks about guys being told that they were great at something, which is fine, but them kind of reading their press clippings, as they used to say back in the day, and drinking the Kool-Aid, which is allowing the external to kind of set your path forward. And he doesn't allow that in. He practices an hour and a half. He's on the field. That's he's out. I was on the field for 3 hours at some points in my life. Can you imagine that? Hour and a half, he's off the field. He understands get the work done, be efficient, don't waste people's time. All the things. I love this. This is going to be a great semifinal. I can't wait to see who wins.
How do we deal with that? So you have Curt Cignetti, who's like, get your work done, go home.
Yep.
And Dan Lanning, came from the same tree, says you will sleep when you are dead.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I understand that. So there's all they're both doing, okay, is trying to collectively put their group in the best position to win. So Dan believes, like many do, that I saw Tom Coughlin sleep in the building. I saw the cot in his office. He just laid down, right? I think that is not necessary. I think that's a little old school. I think that there's a lot more, and that's why I like Curt, because he's older than Dan. I mean, he appears older. He could be younger.
He's older.
He's older.
60.
He's been around, man.
Yeah.
But that's what I love about him, is he has understood that, like, there's science here, guys, that we're dealing with. You got to sleep. You have to be recovered. He understands that the rest, the recovery is optimal for mental health, for being able to be sharp in the classroom. When your guys are in there, they're locked in. He doesn't waste time. I don't think Dan Lanning wastes time either, but there's just different approaches. You can stay out there forever. You could probably still get the same amount of work done in less time. I would say that Curt Cignetti's been able to do that. But it's just fun to see. Either way, both of them are trying to optimize what they're getting out of their football team. And that's what I'm here for. The times where, like, there's no teams up here that are just all flash. These teams are hardworking. These teams have rallied together. I don't even think they might not even be the most talented teams in the country. There's probably 5 or 6 talented teams, more talented teams than what we see up there if you put a group together. So that's what I love about this is the right way forward. All right. So I'm excited for this bracket. That's it. I mean, who's going to win it though? That's a great question. I'm going to say Indiana. I'll say Indiana wins. Indiana wins it all.
I think Indiana beats the Miami Dolphins.
So we brought this up a couple weeks ago. It's going to get to that point. I said this to my father-in-law the other day. I said, look, there's going to be a time in the not too distant future where college football and the NFL are going to be very similar.
Yeah.
Right. They're going to bleed together, and it's going to be like the English Premier League. There's going to be this group and there's going to be this group. And I said this and he kind of sneered and laughed at me. But the scenario that we brought up the other day with Derek is national championship, Indiana, you're in the NFL. You're going to play these guys next year. Hey, Raiders, guess what? You're playing down here.
Raiders open up week 1, James Madison.
James Madison, by the way, best social media account.
Incredible.
In college sports.
Liability against Oregon.
Absolutely owns the Ducks, right? I mean, it's crazy. If you haven't checked out JMU's social media account, you got to do that because it's worth its weight in gold. I think Indiana wins the national championship. I think that they replace the Raiders in the NFL. Raiders are going to play. I don't know who Indiana plays next year, but God bless you because Max Crosby's coming. Then you got no chance.
Now, so we talked about Indiana becoming an NFL football team.
Yeah.
But in reality, if they can figure out a way to relegate college football, they need a PA, a Players Association. They need some structure because
they need
talk
a
about
commissioner.
The transfer portal. Talk about coaches leaving in the middle of a playoff run.
Here's what we're gonna do. The problem with all the scenarios that we laid out is the way the school system is set up in college football with the winter break, and then you have to get in by the spring. Because if it wasn't that way, you could push this stuff out like the NFL does. And then you could push spring football into the summer. And then it would keep the Lane Kiffin scenario from happening. The problem is these guys got to get into school because school starts this week.
January.
Right? It starts soon, right? So that's the problem. And I think that's why it hasn't been fixed yet, is because of that. Otherwise, you would put a salary cap on it. You would give them contracts. You would do all this stuff to save college football. Honestly, I think it's past the point of no. It's past point of no return. It's not coming back. Yeah. We're not putting the genie back in the bottle.
No.
Okay, it's out.
How do you go from making $10 million a year to zero now?
You don't. And like, if you're so like Jeremiah Smith's gonna make $10 million next year, playing college football. He's fine.
Right. Play
at Ohio State for $10 million. He's not going to make that much money his first year in the NFL.
Right.
He might, but I mean, it's going to be very few people are. So it's here, man. Like, we don't talk about it on like the media. We don't talk about how much these guys make. It's starting to get out there. Okay, good quarterback's going to cost you a couple $1 million. Good offensive tackle, maybe $1 million, right? We talk about that a little bit, but it's not, the numbers aren't out there like they are in the NFL, but they're there. It's happening. So we need to have some adults kind of get together and be like, we need a commissioner. We need to give these guys contracts. We need to treat this as an NFL program. We can adjust the timing with the schools and figure that out, but we need to figure this out as adults.
That's the thing, though. Like, I listened to an interview 2 years ago from a guy who I found out, Matt Rule.
Yeah, Matt.
He said
he was in New York with me.
A good quarterback costs you $1 million a year.
Yeah,
this is 2 years ago.
So you need $20 million to compete.
Now there is a quarterback hitting the transfer portal who will remain unnamed right now.
Oh man,
who is going to get $7 to $10 million this year?
Okay, see, we've gone off the rails, guys. We've gone off the rails because. So now, I mean, you're going to approach, these guys aren't NFL players yet, but some of these guys are getting paid like it. Some of these guys are going to make quite the, I mean, where do you draw the line? Because I think you have to cap it. All the money's in Texas.
The oil.
It's down there, bro.
Oil
you
is
look
there.
at Texas Tech's defense, and they got to fix some things on offense. I'm not sure what they're going to do there. They're going to spend some money on it. But man, the money's down there. So it's hard because there's a lot of work to be done, and I don't know if there's a group of people that want to do it.
Correct. And I feel like it's made college football, they said it would make it more competitive, and it's made it more competitive for the top half, but it's made the dispersion from the smaller group of 5 teams to the Power 4 teams. That gap is so much bigger now.
So much bigger. Here's the other thing you can do if you want. I think you can have, like the NCAA has, you can have 2 tournaments.
Oh. Put
JMU in the NAIA tournament.
Dang. I'd feel disrespected.
I would too, but they could win it. Then you win the. That's another, because other than putting a salary cap on it and kind of making this thing, the hard part is, even with salary caps, like, I don't know how they're gonna, like, the NFL is kind of a collective group. The owners are kind of in a collective agreement. How are you going to tell Ohio State and Texas not to do something weird on the side with NIL?
Hey, you got to spend the same amount Fresno State's.
Yeah, I don't believe you. Right.
Yeah. It's not going to happen.
Hey, or Fresno, you got to spend $35 million a year
good luck.
on your roster. That's hard. Anyway, we're trying to fix college football. It's going to be difficult to do. It's college sports in general. People are getting paid astronomical amounts of money. That's another word you probably have heard before. I'll find another one that you haven't heard and use it in the rest of the show. But it needs to be fixed, man, because it loses a little bit of luster. But thank God that the 4 teams remaining are still doing things the right way.
That's right.
Signing bonuses, be darned, as they say. They're still doing things the right way. It's team first, team always. That's college football. Well, I'm going to just tell you right now, I was sad today because I did this show by myself. And Brandon and Peyton and Austin were here, and that was great. I loved the interaction, but where's my man? Where you at, bro? Are you on the pirate ship? Are you with John F. Gruden? I don't know where you are. I mean, hopefully, and this is crazy, hopefully you're sick. That'd be great. Get some vitamin C, vitamin D. Here's what I want to tell you at home. You guys ever seen a sick goat? A goat. Okay? Have you ever seen a sick one? No. Why? Because they have an inordinate amount of vitamin C stored up in their gut. So here's what you do. If you're sick, okay, you're not feeling great, you take a bunch of vitamin C, like 3 or 4 of those pills. No sugar, okay, because sugar kills it. You take that, take some vitamin D, all right, with K2 in it, all right? And then you wait like 2 or 3 hours. And if you still don't have a stomach ache from the vitamin C, you take some more. You wait 2 or 3 hours. So this is information from my brother in case he's not on the pirate ship with John Gruden, all right? If you're sick, vitamin C, keep cranking it in there, right? Can't get enough. And if you never get a stomach ache, that means your body's using it. So I'm not a doctor, ask your medical professionals. But this what I would do, advice. This is not medical advice. This is just what I do to get over it, all right? Maybe drip a little drop of zinc, a couple drops of zinc, and then just see how you feel. All right, everyone in my family got sick this year. I didn't get sick. I don't know why. I think that it's probably because when I started feeling a little bit, I kind of went to this. All right, so Derek, hopefully that's what you have. That's the point of this story is hopefully you're sick, because that's the only reason that you wouldn't be here. And I pulled up today, and usually it's the Ford Raptor out there. You know, he's out. He's early. He's going to beat everybody in, right? He wasn't there today. I didn't see him. Where are you at, bro? Autumn wins a pirate. Did the pirate take my brother? I don't know. Maybe it happened.
Autumn wins a pirate.
I don't know. Autumn wins a pirate. So we'll see what happens. But it was a great show. Okay, I enjoyed it immensely. We talked college football. We talked playoffs. I think that the Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Broncos are going to be in the Super Bowl. Is that what I said? Patriots.
You didn't say Denver Broncos, but you wanted to say Denver Broncos.
Is that a Freudian slip?
It was.
Do I think that the Broncos are the best team?
Yes.
Let me think about that.